Hello my friends, my name is Vermilion. I'm back again making videos. I'm not going to explain where I've been, but if you would like to know, just go ahead to my Twitter or Discord down below. So, Season 2 Reloaded recently launched, and along with it we got some incredible info in the new intel that's scattered throughout the Outbreak maps. And I mean tons and tons of new info between Samantha, Weaver, Peck, and Requiem. However, there are two key topics revolving around Samantha and Eddie that I would like to discuss, as there are some major story implications that the zombie community should absolutely know. So let's start at the ending of Tag der Toten. Samantha and Eddie traveled together to the new unbroken world that our old heroes died for, but even though they went through together, throughout this new story that we are unraveling, Eddie is missing in almost every way. There were no dialogues about him, no intel pieces, nothing really about him described in the game, at least until the start of Season 2 with Samantha's diary note. Sometimes I find it hard to sleep, even though I look forward to it. When I dream, I see faces. Faces of people I care about, and faces of people that don't care for me. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between the two, but one face stands out from all the others. The face of a child, a boy. He is lost, damaged, I want to help him, but somehow I feel that he is dangerous. Dreams are unreliable witnesses, as too am I. Sometimes I find it hard to sleep. At face value, we can tell that she is reminiscing about Eddie, but it's more like she is being haunted by the idea of him. When she describes him as lost, dangerous, and that she wants to help, we were given some hope that he was alive and that maybe he was in the dark ether or even turned evil. So at some point he could possibly return in the storyline, but just listen to this.
Weaver.
Hello, Sam.
You look serious.
My colleagues tell me you've not exactly been cooperative or forthcoming. Instead, you've been evasive, obtuse even.
Ain't that just like me?
This isn't a joke, Sam. I'm worried about you. We all are.
After what I've been through, do you honestly think I'm joking?
Sam.
I thought I'd died and gone to hell. I thought everything and everyone I ever knew was gone forever.
You've been to hell before, though, Sam. We both have. I was never going to leave you there to die.
Like you did the boy.
That's not fair, Sam. That was a different situation. We both did all we could.
But not enough. He's still dead, isn't he?
I can see you're agitated, so I'm gonna let you get some rest. I hope you feel better soon. I don't want to upset you.
Why? Are you worried I'll destroy everything like you think I did at Outpost 25? Weaver.
Tell me that's not insane. Obviously, the tension between Weaver and Samantha is high, which we will discuss why in a moment. The boy, or as we can assume, Eddie, is dead, or at least presumed dead. When Samantha and Eddie were first found, it's possible that they had just came from the portal in Tag der Toten, so right after they entered this new world, something happened to them. What happened, we don't know. Now, as a person who likes to speculate in terms of story, having Eddie be dead or told to be dead through just a piece of intel feels kind of like a foreshadow. It doesn't make sense why they would pronounce him dead like this when he's just as big to the story as Samantha, as he has a connection to the ether as well just by coming from the old universe, which is where my speculation and theory kind of come in. After we rescued Samantha from the dark ether, she was relatively unchanged besides her eyes. As the player, we know this is due to her past connection with the ether that our hero sacrificed to end, although that does not mean that she wasn't affected. Some of the transmissions that were just added into the game mention that she has changed, and we know what happens with how the ether torments and changes how some people act.
Sometimes it's hard to remember how all this started. Do you feel the same? We are all soldiers. We are all fighting our wars. For our countries, for our brothers, for our sisters. When you're faced with a seemingly insurmountable threat, it's easy to forget how it all began. Or to imagine how it all ends. The dark ether threatens to consume us all. That much I'm sure of. And that's why I fight. It holds a power over us. And I think I'm afraid that it could one day consume me. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've questioned my role. Did Weaver tell you that I was the one who caused the outbreak at Outpost 25? Even if he didn't say it out loud, I think he may be right.
Even though she fought it and wasn't consumed by the effects on the mind, does not mean that she isn't fully stable. She fears that it will consume her just like everything else. With that in mind, let's go back to her diary note about seeing Eddie lost and the fact that he's dangerous. Obviously, we've had characters like Richtofen see visions or, known about the future in zombies before. I believe that this diary note is an actual foreshadow to what has become of Eddie. He may be corrupted by the dark ether, and part of the reason why the anomalies are growing stronger. He could be evil and working as the unknown contact of Valentina. There's a lot that could be said about Eddie, but if he's not dead, then he is now definitely evil, just like the Ultimus Richtofen before him that was corrupted by the MPD. This could truly be a parallel between the two universes, a fight for power between Eddie and Samantha. Or it could turn out to be that he is being used, or we could just take it at face value and say that he is dead. Time will always tell. Now, another major thing I wanted to cover involving Samantha's corruption and powers, just take a listen to this.
I don't know how or why, but I am remembering. I was angry before, and I am so sorry. That wasn't me. If it was, it really wasn't who I wanted to be. I made a promise. A promise I couldn't keep. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have kept you safe. I didn't. Maybe that anger made me do things I wish I hadn't done. I may regret some, but others I meant to do. Dirk. He deserves whatever damnation I have brought upon him. I hope he burns in a hell worse than mine.
Samantha is the reason why Outpost 25 had an outbreak. We see this mentioned in multiple sets of intel between her interactions with the people of Requiem questioning her, trying to see if she meant to cause the outbreak or if it was an accident. Samantha herself even admitted to it twice.
It holds a power over us. And I think I'm afraid that it could one day consume me. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've questioned my role. Did Weaver tell you that I was the one who caused the outbreak at Outpost 25? Even if he didn't say it out loud, I think he may be right.
But it's fuzzy to her, as if she didn't have full control over her power at all. Now, her powers of the Dark Ether could be similar to how it worked in Black Ops 1, and this is huge for two reasons. She's retained her ability to harness the Dark Ether, similar to how she harnessed it before, and two, it was out of anger, just like in Black Ops 1, that she caused it. Anger, mental corrosion, and powers are all similar to what Valentina is trying to investigate and create and use for herself and the Omega Group. As she was studying other people that had shown abilities through being infected with the Dark Ether, however, none of them were ever mentally stable and they were always out of commission. It's possible that Valentina could see Samantha as another subject of research, as we do know that she is fixated on this type of psychotronic research to create special forces that use different powers as well as resurrecting the undead German army. This is all just in theory and guessing what might happen in future maps for Cold War Zombies, as we already know that we will be headed to the Berlin map next, but will we end up meeting Eddie in some undead corrupt way? And will we be fighting new special enemies that can use power similar to Samantha? There's a lot that could be discussed, but with all that said, let me know your thoughts on the matter. There's a lot of intel and so many ways that the story ahead of us can be told, and I would love to hear your ideas in the comments below. Anything is game, and the story is shaping up to be really intriguing. So if you enjoy this video, consider liking or subscribing, please. I want to quit my job and make videos for a living. And if you want to stay connected, consider joining our Discord. We discuss, play games, and just about do everything else. So thank you all for watching, and as for me, I'm back on the Call of Duty grind.